Hello, everybody. Thursday, June the 12th. Cutting to another week. This is Captain Marty here. Thank you for stopping by. Got some great fishing to talk about. At the end of our report today, we'll give you a little update from the Big Rock tournament. So sit right where you're sitting, and I'll be right back with some really good fishing news.
Surrounded by water, Currituck and the people of the Outer Banks have been shaped and defined by its rich and coastal maritime history. The Currituck Maritime Museum tells the story of Currituck's boat-building forefathers, their remarkable craft, and the legacy they left behind on how to live life and thrive on the waters of the Outer Banks. Discover the Maritime Museum in historic Corolla Park, across the street from the Currituck Beach Lighthouse, and visit us online at currituckmaritimemuseum.com. Be a part of the local history at the Currituck Maritime Museum. When it comes to general maintenance or major modifications on your diesel vehicle, look no further than Wanchi's Off-Road Diesel Performance in Kill Devil Hills. Master mechanic Ryan Walker developed the plan for having his own auto shop over 20 years ago, and today he owns the premium diesel performance powerhouse of the Outer Banks. To have him and his crew take a look under your hood, give him a call today at 252-715-0025 or find him on social media. Wanchi's Off-Road Diesel Performance, the diesel performance powerhouse of the Outer Banks.
So for our offshore report, Hatteras and Oregon Inlet, really good fishing. Meat fishing for everybody. I talked to Jessie last night, Captain Jessie. She's the captain of the Carolina Girl at Hatteras Harbor, and she put a dock full of meat out there, mahi or dolphin. Wish we'd settle in and just call them dolphin, but that freaks people out. So some people call them mahi, but she had a nice catch of those, and she had a really good catch of blackfin tuna, and she had a sailfish release as well. So just a dock full of fish, and she was just one of the crowd. Teaches Lair Marina and Hatteras Harbor, Odin's Dock, all those charter docks doing really well on the meat fish town out of Hatteras yesterday. Really could not find anything going on in the nearshore fleet down there. Some of those guys are back in the sound. We'll talk about more about that in the backcountry report after our break. Oregon Inlet, tuna. A lot of yellowfin tuna yesterday. Some of them had limits. Most everybody had 8 to 10 to 12. A limit kind of unofficially is 18, but nice class of fish too. And I did not see many dolphin. There were a few caught in the Oregon Inlet fleet, but everybody was doing so well on the tuna that's what they kind of stuck with. Closer to the beach though, they did have a little bit of a nearshore fleet. They've been catching Spanish mackerel and moonfish. I don't know what this moonfish thing is. They're really great to eat and different, but I don't ever remember them being part of our fishing report, and I definitely never caught many or any, really, when I was a captain. So, moonfish in the inshore report for the Oregon Inlet fleet. Yesterday on our pier report, we had all the piers north of Oregon Inlet, had the Fritz Boyden Kids Tournament, big success. I don't have a number, but it was the largest amount of anglers that have ever fished that tournament, is from what I hear. And they caught croakers, and they caught spot, and they caught sea mullet, and they caught bluefish. Just a really great time with the kids getting them out there. And thank you for all the volunteers that went out and helped teach and helped raise up a whole new generation of fishermen. So that was really good too. Rodanthe Pier, by the way, had down on Hatteras Island. Now, they weren't fishing the kids tournament, but they had a real good croaker bite down there. And most everybody in the pier, on the piers and in the surf, are seeing bluefish, croakers, and sea mullet. And then you got to add to that some of the higher end stuff, like, because we're seeing some Spanish mackerel, and we're also seeing some nice pompano being caught in the 2 to 3 pound range. Is not even unusual. So there's a nice mix. There's been a few drum caught. It's really a little bit hard to kind of read between the lines to figure out what all's going on, but they are catching a few bigger drum. Again, most of that's going to be on the backcountry report as well. But there are puppy drum and black drum in the surf, and we are getting as the heat builds, we're getting into the time of the year when you really need to be fishing at first light. And when I say first light, you need to be on the beach as the sky starts to lighten up. That's when the feeding is going on. And then also at last light. So you can go take advantage of the early bird specials at our local restaurants, and then get out on the beach and do your fishing. So it's been pretty consistent and pretty good. Not red hot. And it's one of our reports just talked about how scattered the fishing is. There's no one place that's better than the other, but it's still plenty of opportunity right now. We had a lot of rain. There's some heavy squalls yesterday. So if you are boating, you want to be really, really careful because we've got several more days of that coming up. And the ones yesterday had a lot of lightning in them. We'll talk about that a little bit more when we come back for the backcountry report in just a second.
Hey y'all, Captain Marty here to tell you that when my friends are in the market for a new boat engine or repair, I send them to the best, and that's at Ratcliffe Marine in Belhaven. Ratcliffe Marine is your official Yamaha outboard dealer. Yamaha motors are designed to get you on the water fast and get you back to the dock whenever you're ready. Ratcliffe Marine is also the largest repower center in North Carolina. So when you're in the market for a new motor or need your Yamaha service, go to Ratcliffe Marine, 865 Highway 264 in Belhaven.
In the backcountry, the drum bite is on, and I mean, it has been pretty good. The guys back there are catching these yearling drum, 35, 40, 44 inches. I saw one. And there's also a pretty good bite on the speckled trout, and there's some news in regard to that. After the Cold Stun event this season, there was a moratorium. As I understand it, that is going to be lifted, and you're on July the 1st, you're going to be able to get back to trout fishing. So that's great news, and we've been seeing all during the moratorium some really big trout, the sow trout being caught, and most of them, well, they all had to be released during the moratorium. And generally speaking, I see a lot of people, even when the season's open, letting those big ones go so that they can spawn, but that's been good. And there's also some other stuff. There's sheephead in the sound. I mentioned the drum in all size ranges, so everything is looking good back that way. Bluefish too, if you want some. And our shore fishermen all the way around the rim of the sound, back of Hatteras Island, Roanoke Island, and whatnot are doing very, very well. So that is a secretive fishery that's getting a little bit better. Your local tackle shops can steer you to some places where you don't need a boat. All you need is a pair of old tennis shoes and a 7-foot spinning rod, and you're ready to go fishing. I mentioned to you there was some news last night right around 9 o'clock in the Big Rock tournament. The bank walker did weigh a blue marlin 449.7 pounds. And if I understand things correctly, that will of course put him in first place. So about $3 million in prize money all total in that tournament, but it does not qualify for the Fabulous Fisherman Prize, which is the first blue marlin caught over 500 pounds. So that bar hasn't been beaten yet, but he did meet the minimum requirements, so it's 449.7 on the bank walker. Only fish that's been weighed in, 3 days in the books. 3 days of fishing left to go for most of the fleet. And we'll keep you posted with everything that goes on, or you can go to thebigrock.com and watch it, listen to it, see it, look at the meat categories. There was a 47-pound dolphin weighed. That'll be a hard one to beat, a mahi, so that thing is worth 50 grand. So anyway, we'll see what all happens. I hope that you get a chance to go out and do a little bit of fishing yourself, and I also hope that the good Lord blesses you like he's been blessing me today.